little extra. I use a 15 watt practice amp. I'm hoping to switch to that. And like I said, what you're hearing is a 15 watt Fender, which doesn't really do good for a digital practice amp like a Line 6 or something like that. Okay, out there in guitar world, we're going to 7, and this is the 7 I picked out of playing a lot of different 7s. I went to Schecter after not having much luck on their 6s. I really like their 7s, and I'm new to the 7s, so I'm not an expert on it. But for what it's going to do, it feels better than the Ibanez's, amazingly. And I have nothing against the Ibanez's because this is my main 6-string. This is the Sabre or the S series. No tremolo because I'm not big on tremolos, but this is still a prestige S series, and it's up there near $2,000 worth of guitar, and it's an amazing guitar. And this is passive pickup, so we're going passive against active. And I had bad luck with the actives in the Schecters, I should say, with the Schecter 81 TW. That couldn't seem to produce a harmonic no matter how hard you tried. It could, but it was just, you struggled to do it. As you'll see in a second on the 7, the 7 active pickups on that are blackouts, and they are in some ways are underrated because people don't like them. They're in no way, I should say, are they overrated, because I absolutely love them. The 81 EMG, the EMG 81 TWs just were stale. They were stale. These blackouts are not stale at all. They have a good sound if you're not really soloing that much, but you can solo on that 7-string pretty decent. I'm not going to use a wah pedal or anything, which I usually use to give color to my soloing, especially with actives, because you want a little more color. This is passive V8, V7 pickups on this Ibanez. This thing's just amazing to solo on. All the solos that I record on 32 tracks still be done on this, but I wanted something lower. I played Ibanez Iron Label. I played Ibanez RG series, not Prestige, because I was looking more along the line of $1,000 to for a guitar, and I got this monster. And I look up some of the specs that I can't remember, but this thing, obviously the color, it's a vampire red satin. It's a vampire red satin. It's awesome. And we're looking at a scale length of 26.5, which is longer than normal, but it gives you a little bit tighter feel. But it's not too tight, which was the problem with the Schecter 6 strings too. Also, that was another problem. It was just the string tension was too tight. The actions hasn't been set yet, so it's a little too low. It's almost as low as the Ibanez, amazingly enough. Which for rhythm, I don't really like it that low. Stuff you would want to know. These are both AHB1 blackouts. And then you have your 2 volumes, and then your tone knob, 3-way switch, 9-volt battery. Fret material ebony. We're looking at a 3-piece neck. Now my Ibanez is 5-piece because it's a Wizard HP. That neck is so thin, it's ridiculous. With the 7, I didn't really, especially since I wasn't going to get a 5-piece, I didn't want to go with the SLS series because it felt too thin for a 7. And the pickups, I actually think the ATX is better. And I hated the Ibanez 7s. I don't know what it was with them. I just didn't like them. I love Ibanez on their top of the line series, like that guitar is, that Prestige guitar I have. Fretboard material, ebony. The neck material is maple 3-piece, like I said. as you see, there's no inlays on the neck itself, but you have inlays on the top so you can keep where you're at, and they glow in the dark too. Not a major deal for me, but it's kind of cool. So basically, I'll cut that video really short, and I just got to say this is an awesome 7. I think for the price, I think it should be worth. It plays like an Ibanez $1,300 7-string. I don't know. And I'm not a big Schecter. I'm not a big Schecter 6-string fan. The 7s though, something about them, and like I'm not Steve Vai. I'm not even half those guys you see on YouTube. But you know, I do record stuff. I don't quite go as fast as some of the guys, but I can fiddle around. I know enough about theory that I can write decent, and I play keyboard, so I can put a bunch of stuff on the 32 track. But I wanted a low tone, not so much for the speed stuff, but just to kind of do a more crunchier stuff. And it's just a gorgeous guitar. The locking tuners on the back. Of course, every guitar lately has been using some form of locking tuners. These Schecters are actually, I would say they're almost built better than the Ibanez ones. You can get this in it with a trim or without a trim. I prefer not to have a trim. I love the fact that they went to the lower profile instead of going over and having that kind of unique layout. I mean, this thing's just laid straight across. But the paint job is like ultra cool. It's not shiny, but it's got this, like they say, kind of like this vampire red. Looks like it's streaming down. Obviously the camera is not going to pick this up, but again, also a neck through too. You have that, and easy to string up. That's another thing I hate about trims, is stringing them. With these two guitars, it's fast, you know. And so like I said, I'm not a great 7-string player, but with these pickups compared to that Hellraiser 81 TW pickups, which were just horrible, these things are freaking awesome. I mean, for actives, they are awesome. So we'll get to some playing real quick. And I got to tell you, no one has done too many reviews on this. And this is the newest model. It's not the brand new ones that are coming out, but it's a 2014, I want to say. I mean, and it's mean, and you got a blackout in the front and the back. So you're talking about neck and bridge position, both black. through the old Schecter, the 16 Schecter, the Hellraiser. Just the blackjacks and the blackouts combination is just amazing. So soloing wise, it's a very, it plays very decent. It's not like the Ibanez, of course, because the Ibanez is a prestige, but you can still kind of rip it up. Like I said, I'm not Steve Vai again. I don't everything. So you know. And then if you want to smooth it out, just change the tone a little bit. More melody. More melody like. So you definitely can solo on the guitar, you know, and easy to get used to, easy to switch back and forth from 6 to 7. It will take you some time if you're just getting into 7 strings, but I don't recommend the lower end Schecters. I highly recommend an in-between Schecter like the BLACKJACK ATX. If you want the SLS, you can go with that. Like I said, the SLS is built so good. I just didn't like the thinner neck for some reason. With